Hello again, welcome back everyone. LiquorHound here with you. Thank you for joining me for another Spirit video. Not a review today, but this is going to be showcasing my top 10 bourbons of all time. Now the reason I decided to shoot this video was because I do get that question quite often. I also get the what's your favorite bourbon of all time. Now the favorite bourbon of all time is like asking somebody who your favorite child is. You can't do that. I can't pick out a special favorite of any of these because they all do different things tremendously. And that's the other reason why I didn't rank them. So I'm not going to rank them. I'm just going to showcase them, talk a little bit about each and every one of them, so that in case you do get lucky enough to stumble upon one of these bottles, you will know what you're staring at, and you can begin to shake and go ahead and get up there and purchase your bottle. But anyway, the Old Rip Van Winkle 23-year-old, bottled at 114 proof, Glencairn decanter, beautiful wood and leather presentation, 2 glasses, amazing presentation. Distilled in 1986, bottled in 2009. So the way this came about was Julian Van Winkle and his son Preston, they went through a 50-barrel lot of 23-year-old that came to maturity in 2009. Picked the very best barrels, bottled them for this set, and there was 1,200 of them released. So again, next to impossible to find on the regular market. You might be able to find it in auction houses, secondary market, but be prepared for the price shock, right? This thing's very high dollar nowadays. Okay, but it is Stetzel Weller juice. You know, that's the one thing people always want to talk about and rave about on the bourbon world. Stetzel Weller, that is Stetzel Weller. Alright, Distillers Masterpiece, 18-year-old Cognac finish. This one was released by Booker No back in 1999. There was 5,000 of them released. Now, at the time, there was never any ultra premium bourbons. There was never a finished bourbon. It was just bourbon on the market. And at the most you were going to pay was maybe $50. That's when this guy came in. He finished his 18-year-old bourbon in Cognac barrels from Alain Royer, who was the same guy who picked the barrels for the Parker's Heritage release when he did the Cognac finish. But I will say that Parker's Heritage was young bourbon compared to the 18-year-old Jim Beam product that went in here. And that makes the difference. And not only is the Cognac finish much stronger here, some people say it's too big, too much Cognac. I don't think so. I think it's the perfect split, 50-50 balance between a rich Cognac flavor and the big bourbon flavor. I think it's a perfect balance here. Anyway, 99 proof, amazing stuff. Next up, Four Roses 2012 and 2013 limited edition small batch bottlings. The 2012 was bottled at 119.6 proof, a blend of 11 and 17-year-old, and the 2013 was 103.2 proof, a blend of 13 and 18-year-old bourbons. Both of them were whiskeys of the year, ton of accolades, high point scores. That's when I think Four Roses, well that's when I know Four Roses really kind of took the limelight away from what Buffalo Trace had been doing with their antique collection for the years before, and they really became Distillery of the Year. They started getting that accolade as well. Okay, Parker's Heritage, Golden Anniversary, and this one I was kind of fighting back and forth, but their wheated mash bill. The Golden Anniversary was where Heaven Hill took some bourbon from the 1960s, 70s, 80s, 90s, and 2000s, blended them together for the Golden Anniversary bottling. It was bottled at 100 proof. Next up, that 10-year-old wheated mash bill, big, full flavored bourbon, very oily and creamy at the same time for being only 10-year-old. That's one of the top bourbons. It's amazing stuff. That's why I chose that one, because it was 126.1 proof, very big. But I was fighting because I wanted to put this guy in the lineup. And this is their Parker's Heritage, the second edition, which was the 27-year-old release. The reason I really enjoy this one, and I think it could very easily be in here, is simply because for 27-year-old bourbon, it's not overwooded. It still has a lot of vibrancy to the fruits. It's not over oaked. It's got a really nice sweet character to it. But that's why I thought it was so amazing. It was actually stored in Warehouse U on the 3rd floor there at Heaven Hill. And because of that lower floor, cooler floor aging, that's how come they were able to get that 27 years out of it without it becoming just bitter and tannic. Alright, A.H. Hirsch. This one, ultra premium, legendary bourbon, the one everybody searches for. I still have my own wax top on this one. I haven't opened it. I killed a bottle It was delicious, but I haven't opened this one yet. But I will say it's 91.6 proof, so it's pretty low considering how everybody's been gaining power over the years. We're all craving that cask strength stuff. At 91.6 proof, it was actually distilled in the spring of 1974, bottled in 1990. And I should say tanked in 1990, because in 1990 they did do a release, the Blue Wax, the original Hirsch 16, AH Hirsch 16. Don't get that confused with Hirsch. I have a bottle right here, matter of fact, because I wanted to show you. This is Hirsch Selection, American whiskey, not bourbon. And the reason I wanted to show you that, because people think that sometimes to get it confused between the AH Hirsch and this one are the same thing, and they're not. The AH Hirsch was actual bottled, distilled in Pennsylvania, and then Priest Imports were the ones who bought the bottles, bought the tanks of whiskey and slowly released it over the years. But again, 91.6 proof, amazing stuff. Just the price has gotten really crazy on it. Let's see. This one, the Booker's Private Stock. Now the Booker's Private Stock was a brown wax Booker's. The original Booker's released to the public was also brown wax, but this was before the public ever got to the Booker's release. This was when he was just bottling it specifically for his friends, families, liquor store owners and reps that he really liked, and he would give them some of his own private stash. And I think it's bottled at 120.9 proof, 7-year-old bourbon, amazing stuff. But I do have this guy back here. Now I don't know if he can quite crack the top 10, but the 25th anniversary that they recently released was bottled at 130.8 proof. It was a 10-year-old, 3-month bourbon. Very big, very spicy for a big Booker's. But I think that one is very high quality, and you have a chance of still finding that one. So I wanted to just kind of show that one for you. Next up, George T Stag, 2009, bottled at 141.4 proof. That one was 16 years, 7 months. And then right behind it, this one is the 2012 George T Stag. Now the 2012 George T Stag was 142.8 proof, 16 year, 9 months. So 16 years, 7 months, 16 year, 9 months. And even though this is 09 and 12, these two are probably the two best Stags you'll ever find. I prefer the 09 over the 2012, 141.4. But like I said, if you, any Stag for that matter, you should probably go ahead and pick those up. Those are really, really big bourbons. Amazing stuff, easily into top 10s. Last but not least, the Colonel E.H. Taylor Warehouse C Tornado Surviving. And that was when Buffalo Trace had a tornado kind of come through there, ripped the roof off, exposing some of the barrels, and they had to take the barrels out and repair the warehouse. So these barrels sat out in the summer elements for like a few months. So they actually bottled it 100 proof. It's phenomenal. It's actually the best of, I think, the whole E.H. Taylor line that they've released. And now for the surprise. The surprise would be, and I know this one, if I tasted you blind on these and tasted this one, this guy would actually make the top 10. It was an old Granddad 114 bottling from 1982. Doesn't look special. It wasn't high price back in the day. But everyone that I taste that on is blown away by it. So if you ever see an old tax stamp bottling of old Granddad 114 from the 80s, you need to pick that up. High value. But anyway, these are my top 10s of all time. I hope you'd enjoy the video. Please leave comments. If you think somebody should be substituted, let me know. I'd like to hear it. And everybody have a great evening, and cheers.